Two massive names in Serie A right now. He's scored in 10 consecutive league games in a row, one off Battistuta's record. He got a goal in the derby at the weekend and could have made it 2. They face off in the cup. Now, I'm not going to go down the whole who's best, right? How close at his best did he get to him at his best?
Very. And listen, I understand this is all relative, right? In today's football, there's a head table. That's only got 2 seats.
Good point. Well
Ronaldo and Messi sitting at that table. Yeah. And then there's a bigger second table that I think, listen, just thinking about this off the top of my head, I think Ibrahimović probably gets first choice of those seats of players currently playing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the other people on that table are the likes of Neymar.
Is he allowing anybody else at his table?
Well, he'll probably have a few, have a few chairs, take a few, have a few extra bread rolls. But at that table, you probably have the likes of Neymar, Mbappe.
Any of the boys at Liverpool?
A few of the boys at Liverpool.
Surely.
But I don't think anybody. And listen, I understand. Some of them, Mbappe included, they're still very early in their careers, so it's a lot to ask them to stack up in terms of what Ibrahimović has done over the course of his. But I think Ibrahimović gets first choice.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the stats from their careers. Zlatan's 38 now, and Ronaldo's just turned 35. Now, I know he scored a lot more goals, Ronaldo, than Ibrahimović, and he's only one off the ton internationally as well. But in 25 years, how will Zlatan be remembered? We'll always talk about Cristiano Ronaldo against Messi. How will people talk about Zlatan?
Zlatan, in my opinion, will always be remembered as one of the greats.
Okay.
And listen, as colourful a character as he is, as egocentric as he is, even when you look at his numbers, I think one of the things you have to put into perspective is that he went, 10 seasons in a row where he won the league title, and I know he was stripped of a couple at Juventus. But that takes some doing to be part of a team, and every team that contributes significantly and go on to win titles. Because ultimately, this is a team game. And when your team wins 10 titles in a row, and I think the season before that run, I think Malmo finished second in Sweden. So it's a hell of a run. And I always come back to this, that I always look at what teams have done first. And there is nobody can stack up with that. And that has to earn a certain amount of respect that I'm not sure anybody else matches up to.
You talk about achievements for Zlatan. I mean, his achievements are phenomenal, but his achievements, he was at Milan, he was half a season on loan, then a couple of years. And he's still the decade's top scorer from the previous decade.
Yeah.
But he never won the Coppa Italia with them. They haven't won it since 2003. They won it in 2018. So this is the first leg of this one. He didn't come to Milan just to he came to win stuff. And he's not going to win the Scudetto this year. Coppa Italia, how big a game is that for Zlatan against Ronaldo?
I think this is a big game for both. For both players and both clubs. And now we can talk about Juventus and their run in Serie A and why Ronaldo was brought to the club, and it's not to win Coppa Italia, let's be honest. At the same time, Zlatan is brought in, I'm not sure with an eye to win silverware this year, but certainly to transform AC Milan and reverse their own fortunes. And now, given that bigger picture for both these players and those clubs, given what you've seen in the short term, in their results on the weekend, disappointing losses for both, how do you respond? Now, I am really keen to see how this one plays out, because Zlatan loves the attention. I think he is best equipped to carry this Milan team. At the same time with Juventus, as good a run as Ronaldo has been on individually, and you mentioned his scoring, I think Sarri still hasn't figured out who his best 11 is, what his best starting formation is.
They're talking about Allegri even going back.
There are lots of questions in a tightening Serie A race that's seen Juventus second, albeit on goal difference. Now, again, who wins Serie A is another discussion. But I think it's an opportunity for Milan and Zlatan to really put a marker down, albeit in the first leg. Right now, I'm leaning AC Milan to get a first leg win. but I'm going to lean Juventus to go through over 2.
Okay, finally, quickly. You talked about this head table with Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
There's only one seat at the head table of self-confidence. Is it him?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it him?
Self-confidence, I'm going to go Ronaldo.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know if there's a wrong answer.
No, there isn't. I think...
They're not shy.
No, they're not shy. Certainly in terms of non-shyness, Zlatan wins. And listen, I'm not sure anybody's ever described Ronaldo as having an ounce of shyness either. But I just feel that his confidence... Who leaves a team like Real Madrid after winning 3 European titles on the spell because he feels there's another challenge out there for him at the age that he did? that takes some doing, so I'm just leaning Ronaldo.
Okay. Looking forward to the Coppa Italia semi-finals. They're all on ESPN Plus if you're in the United States. Enjoy them.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.
You ready for some transfer rating?
Why not?
Okay, who we're going to start with today. Jadon Sancho to the Premier League, something that's cropped up before for us.
Yeah, listen, just give him his talents, give him his obvious history and links with the Premier League and English football. Will he return? I think a big offer will be coming in. Talents like his are few and far between. And I think Premier League clubs will be happy to splash some cash for that kind of talent in wide areas.
Is there a specific team you think would suit him best?
I'm not sure. Listen, you've got Chelsea looking for wide players.
Looks like they're about to get Ziyech, and we'll see him in
which
in a minute.
we'll talk about in a while. He's been linked with Spurs, Manchester United, a continued link. Would he go back to Manchester City? That one I'm a little bit not so sure on. But other than that, almost take it back.
Okay. This one keeps cropping up.
Keeps cropping up.
Smoke, fire, that old, or this is possible.
And to be honest, I keep saying the same things about it. Listen, you understand the link. What, 23 years old, Jurgen Klopp manager in Liverpool, so you understand it. But and this is a challenge with Liverpool. That team is just so balanced right now. And as good as they are, and managers always talk about it's easiest to sign players to make teams better when you're winning, when you're playing well. So you understand the thinking there. But if you're Timo Werner and you're looking at Liverpool's front three, do you get in? That's the big question. The other side to that very same coin is with the Africa Cup of Nations on during the season now, Salah and Sadio Mane goes on. So you understand the interest from a Liverpool perspective. But if you're a Timo Werner, do you say, well, I'm happy to go to Liverpool, Premier League champions? I think we can accept that right now, quite possibly.
Even Stevie said that, so we must.
And that's the thing. Do you go there, give him a player of his quality, his reputation, knowing that, well, for maybe a month or two, I am going to be number one, but outside of that, I'm not really sure whether I fit into the starting lineup. No.
You wouldn't?
If it were me and my choice, I think there'd be other clubs coming in where that would guarantee me a starting position. I just don't think you can guarantee Timo Werner's starting position in Liverpool.
Good point. Brozovic came back at the weekend to start. He's been struggling with an ankle problem. Ran that midfield in the second half, because the first half, everybody was horrible.
It was a game of two halves. And listen, understandably, given his role for Inter Milan and that creative role that he plays, that Inter Milan need and rely on. Let's be honest, it's only when Brozovic found his own rhythm in the second half that Inter looked anything decent, because I thought AC did a fantastic job on him in the first half. You understand the link? Because I don't think that Real Madrid have that creativity really in midfield. Modric getting on in years, they need that replacement. This makes a whole lot of sense to me.
He's a good player. Van de Beek to Chelsea. Another really good player, youngster, talented, because him and Frankie de Jong when Ajax had that run.
Absolutely, and again, these two lined up against each other in Champions League earlier this season, so they would have seen each other firsthand. Given what we've seen from Ajax over the last couple of seasons, you take chances on almost any of Ajax's players. This makes a whole lot of sense. It's in keeping with everything you've seen from Chelsea and Frank Lampard. Young, talented, lot of upside to it. Yes. And as much as we're talking about young and talented, Ziyech a little bit on the higher end of that age scale in terms of what Chelsea have been linked with or reportedly looking at.
Suggestion it's already done or it's been verbally agreed. He plays on the right-hand side. He can play more central, but he's your guy. He's your right-hand side.
Yeah, and I like it, again, just given his age, a little bit more experience, but then you look at who Chelsea have there between Willian, Hudson-Odoi, comes in, listen, again, as we were just saying about Van der Beek, given what we've seen from Ajax, I take a chance on almost any of Ajax's players. I do this. It does give you a real problem with Hudson-Odoi. Willian has been linked with a move away for the last 4 or 5 years. Still, a player I would absolutely love to have in my squad. So it gives Frank Lampard a problem. But those are problems that managers want to have.
A good problem to have. Today's Transfer Rater with Shaka.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week.